Quarta e 1 de abril, dia das vossas mentiras e infâmias assassinos de crianças. Pus recentemente esta mala, ou uma referência a esta mala e à marca por causa do roubo do computador. Por sua vez, roubos de outras coisas. Tiveram cuidado de entrar cá em casa durante a noite, não necessariamente de ontem para hoje. Mais uns espaços descobertos ali nas dobradiças das janelas, como de costume, por estes profissionais filhos da puta ao serviço de terroristas de Estado, e tiraram a referência, presumo, para disfarçar o cambalacho do roubo de documentos e de mais um ano de trabalho. Estes filhos da puta presos, ó caralho! Me espantei vocês, é a vossa cobardia dos filhos da puta pelas costas. 7º dia sem água. É a segunda vez que vou repetir este take, visto que o outro não gravou, está aí alguém que entrou há um bocado. Como hoje de manhã o festival à saída sincronizado. Estava eu a dizer, mais uma vez, vandalismo, preparado, é quarta-feira, dia 1 de abril, são já às 5h30. Entrada ilegal em casa durante a noite, acordei depois da primeira camada aqui, estava tudo manchado, uma zona assim manchada de trincha, que eu não faço, para obrigar as pessoas a mudar a cor para mais escuro. Até aqui vai a infâmia destes filhos da puta. Depois é assim, comprei duas coisas destas na loja chinesa ali de Alcântara, fechadas. Abri esta um bocado para pôr ali aqueles pregos como vêm, que são parafusos, que eu chamo prego. Dentro da própria embalagem fechada vêm diferentes. Ou seja, estes filhos da puta, destes vândalos, abrem as embalagens, vê-se pelo tamanho da dimensão das cabeças. Umas finas, mais estreitas em raio, ao diâmetro, e umas mais maiores. Dê-me também a embalagem, como é que é possível? Não sei por preparação, abrem, fecham, misturam os parafusos, e depois entram em casa por topagem, mudam estas merdas dos parafusos, roubam merdas, músicas e documentos e mais não sei o que para falsificar. Todos os dias esta infâmia em Portugal. Continua a exigir, I demand and insist in demanding a mandate of capture against the Prime Minister, the President and the President of the Parliament by this infamy that runs free every day in this country. Infamy that runs free in this country. I demand prison for all the dignitaries, the demission and the prison of the Prime Minister, the President and the President of the Portuguese Parliament. These fuckers come here, they change, as I show you recently, document published, if I'm publishing somewhere. Even the notes on Honor are disarranged by programmation. I have estimated long years ago that these fuckers of these bandits associations will spend 1 to 3 millions by months to make all these kind of sabotage and all the kind of things that I'm trying to do. Not only works of this kind, manual, but also my works on writing, which means also and says and points how must be big the income, the criminal income for this infamy that runs free on this country without knowing about the sun for 2007. And this goes until this detail. I have shown recently even the screws, they in the mystifications online, always with these fucking videos of hell, with breaths and even problems that, if real, can be considered of health, mundial affairs or matters. I want these fuckers, all the rest fuckers, for the rest of their life. This is all the room is. This. I suppose I am, when I enter home this end of the morning, I was in Cathedral Deposits, dependency of Alcântara, another crime going on. I was there to see if I had money transferred to my account. Indeed I had, but I had a transfer from my mom, apparently the name, with this difference of her status professional, and mention, if I remember well by memory now, day 18 of this month. How this is possible, ladies and sirs? And the difference of also amount transferred normally to what is usual during all these years of infamy and slavery and forced labors. I want answers that are due to me by law. How many years I have complained against these crimes that run free and destroy the life of the want and the country in banks, where I have any answer with the courts that arrest them and inquire them all. I don't know about my mum, and I was there, and he says, there's a transfer or not, can you check it? Yes, I do not find, because there was already done in day 18, they print me a paper, day 18 of March, how this is possible? What is correspond now on this step of criminology, fantasy, murder, and forced labors, and slavery, an attempt of homicide? I was told the morning they are on the bank on the Givenchy. I suppose also arranged now the time to have come here, because when I again enter and see my room, I say this is already dirty with the oxy that I'm putting on this product. And this morning when I go out, synchronize, I suppose this is the man of the layoff with the open capot and a cable electrically charged on the other building, that was entering another car of the same color of this floor. Never saw the layoff that I see him, if he's him, is in white. Always again the cable that comes from the second floor or whatever charging, but also is similar to the results on the kitchen cooker in electrodomestics. In this context that I have been writing again. And he was entering and said, well, I want to go out. I said to him, so worried, that I said to him, you pass through or behind me? And at the same time, before, just a second or two, enter a lady of the building like this, seems this lawyer, lady or relation publics of Pstan or whatever it is, the mumbo jumbo, I don't see her for a long time. The man appears on this robber of and change of machines, of computer, to impeach and robber again a year of production. And I say recently, when I was opening the door, enter, turning inside, someone has made like this and enter the building. And I said, this seems by the back. I say, seems this lady that I did not see for a while, after the appearance of him at my steps on Auchan in the department of electrodomestics and machines. After this robber, will I suppose prepared already another PC trying to sell me to maintain the slavery and the extortion. Who arrest these people? Because every day this outlaw country in this way can't be. And if I do not lose my day counts on this hell that they provoke, obliging victims for 20 years in daily basis to make survival reparations. It's already the 8th day, 1 of March 2026, that I'm not having running water on the pipes, and as I have proof in the first day, this is a crime going on, because the fact the invoice is within the date of payment and is made by automatic transfer of a dead man. I want my water open, fuckers, thieves, and terrorists. I'm not even sure that she was this wife of this man. Entering today, as I just gave the count, day 1 of April. Put this clear, because they were always synchronized when I was out running. The difference for the last time that I just remember now was that she comes from the back. I was opening the door, she passed literally over me like she was on fire. I do not know if it's her or not by the briefly second, and because the other comes with this mumbo jumbo of the cars and the color of cars and so on. Always these bandits associations of terrorists and thieves and murders of shites. or answers by law in this country, fucker. Well, today I arrived at the end of the day, the morning. Home, day 1 of April. The screw of the window of my room was not put on place. I slept here yesterday by these works. The coat was not right, but I suppose I have put it because I have of course, the window open. And I suppose someone this morning has come here to take the screw that still's there, but for the system of fixation, which means perhaps saying that someone has prepared an entrance or has the entrance, there was Trump's today on CM, Correio da Manhã, newspaper print say they still go on entering the Strait de Hormuz. I suppose this is a metaphor of this part, or can be understood. In Correio da Manhã, President Trump, like a face of a tomb or something of the kind. This is what still goes on in this country. And communication level, these are crimes. Seems him, I'm not even sure it was him saying this. I don't know. Can't be like themselves. People must trust in the communication of others. If not, they cannot live any level in their lives. More coat put, and I will stay as usual in the half conclusion, namely in the room and the office, both enough, with metaphors hacked by the criminal Nazi More Prime Minister and about heritage and invisible properties with all this damage in the middle of these. This is the reality Nazi of these thieves and gangsters. It is enough to be arrested in front of a court. So I spend all the morning there, not all the morning, but I suppose more than 1 hour. There's the rocks on the floor, apparently granite enterrado. It's a new dependence. Perhaps a metaphor saying that they have done this to the floor to entering by the Gulf of Hormuz. I don't know, ladies and gentlemen, but the craziness goes until this point on this country can't be, because this is some symptom of a lot of crimes. People do not act on these ways if they are not subject to all kind of criminal obligations. I'm not speaking particularly concerning peoples there. I don't know them. Just have the common facts of even a robber of 30 years that arrives on the other ATM in the other side of the city. Nevertheless, this is the questions that I have raised more than 1 year ago to Caixa Geral de Depósitos, but still without answers. The lack of security, namely in credit cards. Can't be. At night, with all this, they use these techniques every day. I was doing the code there in this, more or less, this corner where I have the extension. And enter someone, the belong, have the ability. I don't know if these are process of magnetize, people that can magnetize whatever. I had already not much code, and a lot of them turn away. And the resultant after was a line like this, in these two towers there. We have the Moratoa there now. I don't know if you are seeing. I will cut the take and I show you this in front camera. Perhaps you can see. I don't know. Even it's because it's very not fine, but he has a particular nose and he's looking this direction around the two towers also. So this is, I'm calling this mirror image of New York more than the tower itself. Yeah, perhaps you see by the difference of brilliance. Seems vaguely Portuguese journalist that appears with a high frequency in these last weeks on the interstitial news or whatever you call affair. Always very exciting, but I do not know who he is. I'm asking if he's not the man who works with Maria Sobral Mendonça Lifestyles 93. It seems so. I don't know if it's proper to call these people journalists. However, lady, ugly one, you cannot sleep anymore on this kind of coffins. Where was my cables on this regime? When I had installed a company very thick coffins, because I do not need this, just a distance to pass all the spaghetti that the logic machines need at that time to be connected. Now we are on the age of higher, less, and those things are 10,000 worse, I suppose. But nevertheless, I suppose you cannot even. I played with you some months ago. I don't know if you remember opening one of these parts, and so you can sleep here. I close every night to not get cold. Do not get cold. I do not know, my lady. This is another reality. What can I say to you? It's a constant Nazi nightmare, but it's a real one. That's the problem. This has become a real nightmare, Nazi hell. Every place, as you can understand, I suppose. If someone is listening and see what I'm published, not only thieves and terrorists. We cannot even be sure of these victims in circle for 20 years, how this is possible in societies developed without proper census. We cannot even be sure of these. There is this metaphor that I speak to you all some large years ago. I still had the blog open, not impeached in this criminal way without answers every day for more than 2 years, of a film, an American film, where unplugged as always, the character had a sombrinha parapluie, and this was constellated by a very beautiful movie, Shadow from China, if you remember well. And why they have chosen this frame, I have shown you, included, I suppose, the frame of the trailer. This is the story of apparently a game of television or whatever, where a man is trapped on this own city, a small city, where all the peoples are together against him, create daily basis illusions at all the levels of his life. And until the end is going out, and we see opening a door in a cyclorama, like shooting on the Hollywood or whatever, and apparently goes to nowhere reality. Because after the movie finish, I suppose mostly part of people on the world that are trapped on this dance reality do not goes out of the show. They goes to the coffin, most part without even knowing why they are killed. This is the reality, ladies and gentlemen. Open your eyes and take the measures according to the law. Proffing to erase evidences, for instance, concerning this impeachment and the change. Entering the home of my last HP, for instance, I had some image concerning the end of my account, pay on Microsoft as only years, where there was registered, this is a normal crime disguise, because we associate machines to account. It's a normal procedure, Microsoft or others. I have always problems to this, proof beyond a reasonable doubt, which means these are mechanisms to appropriation identities, machines, and works to robber. And once again, there's no machines that were associated. I have already noticed this some months ago, and I put it again. At least in Microsoft, I arrived to do it in Google not, for instance, as why. And this is another sub-process, criminal process to assure privilege redirection of production for the the pocket of thieves and terrorists. But I had at a certain point, and I gave grave fame, that is told already, where the last one, the story with France and Macron and Antonio Costa act on media, online. The energy, no, in printed papers, if I remember well, here, or in online, as I have commented, the energy gave from France to Portugal with disastrous by on the Auchan Department of Electrodomestics and Machines of War. And it still was there, which means they have recovered this machine or whatever, or the codes, or the serial numbers. They changed the invoice as proof managers rolled out. I'm not speaking particular concerning this case or even concerning Auchan and the department in this case, but this is a normal recurrent strategy of all these criminals and terrorists. And there was this machine, the Asus 515 Ma ou qualquer coisa, this was the number, and still was there at the end of the license, which means they clone the pages or they clone the licenses, and people are enrolled in an idea that they are producing and publishing in social medias, and no, they are only be thieves and slaves until the coffee. Can't be, ladies and such. These are Nazi realities. It's true, but take note to the calls if ones that work properly. Some days ago, also in interstitial whatever news of hell, that was apparently a news of a minister actual of this government of Nazis that goes away or not. We see him on a kind of airport with a large van full of bags, and he was saying that he had a company with his wife, a musical company. This is strange for me. I do not know if he's the man that these two repeated scenes on the Parliament and the Telecommand and so on. But it's nevertheless strange by the fact that this was again on the table in recent memory comments concerning some already 2 years ago, these lines with the Red Wing folk for Luxembourg and so on, and the musics and the cracks and fenders and chorus, just to put you in track in a synthetical way. And the news says that he and his wife had a company, a musical company. Are they one of the shadows of thieves? Lawyer, because I speak about Her Lady, if it was Her Lady this morning, or the day by day, entering, jumping over me and my bags and with food and so on. That appears after this attack and the change of machine and so on. No share coming from this when I was in the corridor. I suppose it is a prepared step by someone. And I entered, there was 2 machines refurbished. Never saw their machines refurbished. Dell and Asus. And also after appears even a flat screen from Microsoft, a Surface or whatever. And I suppose someone is creating a shadow concerning his responsibility on this criminal process of changing machines to acquire identity and to steal and to maintain persons in circle on the virtuality conscience that they are communicating with others. I don't know if it is true or not, ladies and gents. I just remember now some key facts concerning this couple from the beginning that I installed my company here. Oh, as always, strange, as all the people that live here, that points to me that they are many times together on these crimes. Just remember now also the Fulgêncio acting on these. Still go on in these days with this trick on the door locker, like it happened just now. It's already 18:19, 6:19 p.m. 18 horas e 19 minutos e 12 segundos. This purpose, the last discover that I have done, this seems ever you can have an effect concerning break teeth, because I felt this in one of recent pasts on this kind, this craziness, Nazi reality that goes free for 20 years. There's a particular reference on my side concerning this, which is the emergency scene on the film Captain Scandal tomorrow. That is an artistic object that I have used to make some analysis concerning 9/11, as you all know. And after I speak, this became an habit, a criminal habit. It's a little bit more reddish and more opaque that I wanted. But they go there and they do this. Always put a little of dirty, but dirty in color already with coat. This obliges to make darker coat, dark solutions, but it's not bad. But needs one or two more coats. The same on the room. It's a nice color, but a little bit reddish. Yeah. I'm seeing with the light mixed with these lines. I have two different colors lights here because there were no lamps on the same temperature of color yellow. Um, I see it more darker, a little bit more darker. But nevertheless, I suppose this works, but needs more. This will be perfect. It's become vitrified, in questions of namely cleaning, not for necessary for aspect, for look, but for cleaning. It's good to have all these a little bit more vitrified. And I suppose it's possible. The toilet I did not also finish to vitrify all these damage on the floor that they do systematic. I have done this for 7 or 8 times, I don't know, in these last years. But nevertheless, I suppose I can do it with this material. It's take a lot of time and a lot of material. For the moment, I will let like this. I've done this difference of color by the dirt itself. I can remix the colors, but I do not even have materials to do it now. Probably know doing works of survival. The focus camera is already broken down. This piece they have also turned it. This part after these two bumps on the tower. And just now I realized it's broken down. It's broken on the room also a cover. And it can show you perhaps the difference of brilliance, if it becomes vitrified concerning the parts who are not, just a small part it is. But nevertheless, I suppose these marks also not down. And again, they have play with this wiki game of the hand of and the grip, which is a Nazi crime recurrent with many tragedies, including California, as you know.